because you're now in what, 45 states with some kind of facilities or some of your equipment, or
we're in approximately 18 states currently, Canada and Puerto Rico. We're currently working on getting equipment into Denmark, as well as several other countries. And yeah, it's managing the growth gets difficult, but it's the team, it's the resources, it's really the team. It's building the team from the ground up.
And how big of a team how big is your team?
Currently, we have a facility very close to here. It's about 45 minutes away in Louisville, and we have 26 employees. Founded the company in 2012. First year was basically R&D and proof of concept. Second year was pushing some systems out to the field and improving them in a real-world scenario. And since then, we have approximately 100 machines or more out in the field and operational. And it's exponentially growing at this point. So it's seeing that we have 26 employees currently. By the end of the year, we should be about 45. So it's very, very quickly becoming something that I'd hoped for and had dreamed of.
But there is a lot of contract management. I mean, you must work with many contractors.
Yeah, there's a lot of contract management. And there's a lot of customer management. Seeing that it's a piece of equipment that potentially, especially in the cannabis level, makes a lot of revenue on a daily basis. It's important to make sure that the equipment is operational as much as possible. And any day that's down is harming our customers. So we definitely take customer service very, very seriously.
And the complexity of your business with respect to regulatory systems and standards that exist, what, from state to state, from country to country?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you manage that?
That's interesting. In 2013, when we kind of first got the first one certified here in Colorado, we went through the first regulatory agency was Denver Fire Department, which really had the biggest say on any of the pressure-rated and extraction-related equipment. And it was interesting going through that process because it was a lot more of an education of them, who was the regulatory agency, in how to get it approved and what they need to be looking at. And in the end, they had the say of it, but we had to help them through the process so that we could get through the process as well. And we're finding that moving into new countries as well. There's standards, ASME, European, PED directives and things like that, but it's interesting because, especially even on like UL underwriters laboratories, that's a big certification that a lot of people look for. This type of equipment doesn't really fall into any specific category, so we wind up having to spend a lot of time communicating with them on where we fall and how to analyze our equipment so that it can be certified.
Thanks. Okay, food. Because we have the Italian panel member, and she brought really wonderful food, and then we have the Queen of Hemp sitting over here, the Queen of European Hemp sitting over here, who also develops food and helps farmers and does the full value chain thing. What does the European hemp food market look like? Yeah, either one of you. I mean, talk about Europe, and then maybe Raffaele, you can talk a little bit about Italy.
Well, it's still struggling because of the regulation. I think if we have clear regulation for the food market, it will be much easier.
Can Europe grow enough seed for food seed?
Yeah, it's growing.
For itself?
Yeah.
Can Europe supply itself?
Not yet.
So where are they getting the supply from?
China and Canada. All of that.
Okay, and which markets are the big markets, or which ones are showing dynamic growth, would you say?
Well, if you compare Europe from Canada, all the seeds what they are growing, they use for hemp food. In Europe, we have half of the hemp seeds used for feeding of animals. So this makes the demand for our imports much higher. Maybe we will be sustainable for the hemp food if we just feed ourselves and not our animals. It's not happening. There is a long tradition in Europe to feed the birds with the hemp seeds and the fish.
But also the the question about the allowable THC level does affect the food market, right?
Yeah, definitely. And there was very critical moments. We have German legislation, which in the European legislation they have no directives, like some recommendation for the THC limits. Only Germans, they have a directive for 5 ppm in the food products, which is super low. And there was the cases that tons of hemp protein was destroyed because there was 6 ppm found it, and it's still happening. It's they're like Daniel Kruse will tell you much more about that. So I think it's very critical moment now that we really have to do the lobbying, and also maybe can help, because I'm working also on the international policy, and we work on the critical review document, or we following the critical review document process. So there may be, because the expert committee of WHO, they putting all the expertise of the danger.
Okay. I'm sorry, we're just running a little bit short on time because I really want to get to Raquel. I'd like to talk just very briefly about the range of products that are being made from the matter that you process. In other words, who your products from your factory go to. You have the construction industry. You serve the construction industry, hemp building, yes?
Yes, I work with raw material from straw for bio-construction.
Right.
And what do you want to...
And you also harvest seed?
Yes, we work with seeds, and we made food, not directly, but our agricultural chain produce a lot of food stuff.
And the material that comes from your factory also goes into bioplastic material. Is that correct?
Yes, we make in South Italy natural bioplastic with our sheaves. They buy the smaller that I produce, and they micronize, and they produce biocomposites with PLA and sheaves.
And I would just remind again that we're back in the far corner, and you can come see all of these products that...
Yes, I present Italian producer. We produce really good quality food products and cosmetics.
Exquisite products.
Yeah, exquisite. Yes, and we, with Federcanapa, that is our Italian association, we look at for protect our agricultural production, our seeds, Italian seeds, because we have a lot of seeds that look at for coming side from Canada, and is Romanian that manage Canadian product, and by Germany that work with Chinese products, Chinese seeds. But we have a good production. Every year grow up for Italian seeds. Italian is a nice producer for hemp in a historical way, and also now we produce a really good product. We grow up.
We have 2 minutes left, so I'd like to again ask one question for everyone. Give just a couple sentences or a paragraph. Normally, as a business journalist, you would always ask the sort of pat question: what will happen with your company in the next 3 to 5 years? Okay, but in hemp time, 3 to 5 years is an eternity. So I would ask each of you, let's say the next 12 to 18 months, what's going to happen in your companies, or what are your plans for that time? Give us some indicators, and you start.
What we're doing in Emporium to get away from the issue of the hemp trap is we starting to silo our companies, so set up separate divisions for Emporium Construction, Emporium Merchandise, Emporium Food, Emporium Cosmetics. So they're all going to have their own businesses.
Thank you for your answer. Kel.
We're seeing a very large push towards obviously naturally extracted products that have a broad range of spectrum, from isolates to full spectrum cannabinoids, and we're looking to produce equipment to meet all of those demands.
Thank you. Where will the power push you?
I think where I would want to help the evolution of this kind of thing is into making these kind of materials more acceptable and more people using it and understanding it, more of an awareness level, so that more local communities, local people, more small places processing can develop, and we want to grow that.
Raquel, what will happen with South Hemp in the next year?
We work to finishing well our line for decortication hemp straw, and in 6 months we are finishing and we patent it, and also we are ready to sell it for other company.
Hannah, you have 10 seconds.
God knows. No, I think we will become part of some network, like bigger international network, because I'm involved with so many projects that I just like want to cut all the production of like outsourcing food, and I will just focus on my own production of hemp flour and the distribution of the seeds, and just give the support of the like these people who are starting, and I'm working with them, and I will do more consulting most probably.
Okay, thanks. We hate to be in a rush, but they're moving us right along. Again, we'll be over in the Hemp Boutique in the Global Hemp Village in the very far corner. Thank you very much.